What's going on, YouTube? First off, before we even start the video, please ignore the Spanish music playing in the background. I'm at work right now, and we got one of the Spanish guys here. It's just me and him, and he's got the Spanish music playing. So try and ignore that. And this is pretty much my 2 cents on the whole Pop-Tarts thing that's going on with Louis Marco, Hodge twins, and Ian McCarthy. And first off, this is made for Ian and all the viewers, but if you're watching Ian, I want to formally apologize for one of the other videos I had made about you, because it was real immature, it was real stupid, and it was kind of in the heat of the moment, and it wasn't even, it was pretty much just for the fun of it, you know. I didn't even really care. Everybody was doing Ian McCarthy reactions, so I was like, fuck it, might as well do one, you know. But it's nothing personal, man. I actually think you're a really smart guy, and you're very intelligent, no doubt, but I just want to throw my 2 cents in and, you know, give you my opinion on the whole thing that's going on. So I watched the video, Ian, and I also watched the Hodge twins' response too, but I'm doing this as a response to you. And I just have a little list, you know, a couple bullets, maybe like 5-10 bullets of things I wanted to point out that I found in your video. First off, you said in the beginning, you said, I'm sure Pop-Tarts were in his diet. You were talking about Paul Morawski, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I was wondering, are you positively sure, or you're assuming, like, I'm sure he was part of his diet, or are you like, I'm sure it was part of his diet, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a fact, or are you assuming that Pop-Tarts were a part of his diet? Because if not, then, you know, that's false information, therefore being hypocritical, but that's anyway. I just wanted to, you know, leave a comment or something if you were talking fact or assuming that Pop-Tarts were in Paul Morawski's diet. But then another thing you said was, you were talking about Alberto Nunez, and he's an all-natural bodybuilder, and he had Pop-Tarts incorporated in his diet, and that's totally cool and whatever. And then you went on to talk about Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman having, you know, Pop-Tarts and whatnot. But the thing I wanted to throw out with you is that, you know, you're comparing an all-natural bodybuilder to two bodybuilding champions, and are I believe, and still were and are, I believe, still on steroids. And obviously these guys are on high dosages of steroids, and their bodies are extremely huge, over 300 pounds and whatnot. And anybody over that weight needs a certain amount of calories a day just to maintain that weight. So Pop-Tarts, in essence, really is like small potatoes, as we say, in their diet. And they need an extreme amount of carbs, extreme amount of calories. So the Pop-Tarts is actually something that they would, you know, need. So comparing Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman with Alberto Nunez, a natural bodybuilder, they both approach bodybuilding different ways. So I don't think that's really essential to do. You know, you're comparing guys that when their fitness level, they're hitting the gym 4 hours a day, 2 to 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Their fitness levels and the amount of calories they are burning are way more than any of us, most likely. So obviously Pop-Tarts are really not a concern for those specific guys. Alberto Nunez, on the other hand, might have been a little different. It's an all-natural bodybuilding approach compared to a steroid bodybuilding approach. You're talking about two different things, and the whole diet nutrition routine thing changes. So I just wanted to mention that. And another thing I wanted to touch up on was, why would you even want to eat Pop-Tarts, man? I mean, you know, I'm not specifically talking to you, but in general, Pop-Tarts are really, they don't fill you, me at least personally, they don't fill me. They really don't, they taste good, but they're not something like, you know, like ice cream or something. I'd much rather have something like that than Pop-Tarts. There's only 2 pastries, and they're like this big. And, you know, for what you're getting, I don't think you're really getting your money's worth. 400 calories, almost 100 grams of carbs for the whole little package. You know, you could do a lot better, I personally think. And you said that somebody, I forgot who you said, but poured high fructose corn syrup, I think you said, on chicken or something like that. Why the hell would you do that? Because, first of all, I looked up a study about it, and this is actually a study from Princeton University. You can read it backwards, but Princeton University right there. Alright. And it says, Princeton researchers find that high fructose corn syrup prompts considerably more weight gain. And the whole study goes on to talk about how corn syrup leads to obesity, and they did a study on how, let me see if I can read it. I don't want to really waste time on this, but to sum it up in a nutshell, they said that high fructose corn syrup is actually worse than table sugar. And sugar and high fructose corn syrup are part of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts ingredients, which is another thing I wanted to share with you that I had printed out. Here we go. Kellogg's website, right off the website. The whole ingredients are right here. Ingredients. Alright, I can't probably read it, but I'll read some of the things to you. And in case you don't know this, ingredients go by what's the most in the food. Like, the first ingredient is whatever is mostly made up of the food, you know what I'm saying? So, first off, it starts off with enriched flour. And I work for a pasta business, as you guys can see. So I do know that enriched flour is not natural. It's processed, and it's pretty crazy how you're making it from scratch. It's not even really. It's pretty stomach upsetting. It's disgusting. I'd rather have whole grain sprouted than enriched flours. Anyways, then you have next on the list is corn syrup. Then after that is high fructose corn syrup. Then after that is dextrose. So you got syrup, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and sugar. Pretty much. And then you have soy. You have a couple of soy products in here also. You have a whole bunch of different flavorings, blueberry flavorings, artificial flavorings, and it contains wheat and soy. Soy is not your friend when it comes to bodybuilding. It fucks with your growth hormone and stuff, so, you know, stay away from that. And if that has soy, it's not an efficient source of protein, so it's really not your bodybuilding food that we all tend to look for. Okay, and another study that I just wanted to show you real quick is that foods high in fat and sugar are as addictive as cocaine. Studies have proved. Now this is 4 pages, so basically, like, I'm going to sum this up too. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Foods high in fat and sugar are as addictive as cocaine to the human body. Studies reveal. Multiple studies have proved this. Pepsi's Corporation and Kraft Foods products were taken. I know it's not Pop-Tarts, but Pop-Tarts do have sugar and fat in it, and therefore making it addictive. And if you're addicted to something, many people tend to overdo, a certain thing, and that could lead to an excess amount of Pop-Tart consumption or whatever consumption that has sugar. I'm just specifically talking about Pop-Tarts because that's what we're all fucking talking about right now. So, and I know you said if it fits your macros, that's cool. You're 100% right about that, Ian. You are, okay? If it fits your macros and micronutrients too, it should be pretty, stable with your body. You won't gain any weight unless you're eating more or less for losing weight. But so you're right about that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to point out a couple of things. So, foods high in fat and sugar are as addictive as cocaine, therefore leading to what Pop-Tarts make you gain weight for, because you will consume more of it because it is as addictive as cocaine in a way, And then you said, I just wanted to say, the Hodgsons are talking about being healthy. Now, the Pop-Tarts are not a source of a healthy food. They're not vitamin. One second, this heater's on down here. There's not as much vitamins and minerals and nutrient-dense food as like an apple would be, or an orange. You know what I'm saying? It's all natural. An apple and orange or something that comes from Earth, and then you're comparing it to a processed product that is filled with sugar, artificial flavorings, corn syrups, all that horrible stuff, and it really is useless for your body. It just goes right through it and does nothing good for it. And the Hodgsons are talking about suggesting foods that are healthy for you, that will help you in the long run, that will make your body more sufficient and efficient. And Pop-Tarts do not do that for you, okay? If you're eating Pop-Tarts on a diet, odds are you're going to have some sort of disease down the long run, compared to eating like an apple a day or whatever, something like that. I'm going to make a part 2 to this video, so this is part 1. Check out part 2, and I'm just going to hit a couple other points that I think are really important. So, if you really, Ian especially, if you're watching this, please check out the part 2, and, yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Peace. See you in the next part.